It's been a hot minute since the last video I've done for this channel, and there's a pretty good reason for that. I got really sick. I'm still dealing with some health issues, but I thought I would try to do a little video here, get my feet wet back on this channel, and talk to you a little bit about the new Field Notes series that just came out. I know that this channel, we kind of mainly talked about books in the past, and that wasn't really what this channel was originally supposed to be about. It just kind of happened that way because I was starting a mobile bookstore with someone, and that's just something that's kind of been put on the back burner. But I do want to get back to what this channel was originally going to be, and that is, ink and aspiration. Like, we're talking about journals, we're talking about writing, we're talking about your daily catch-all systems, notebook systems, things like that. So what better way to start things off than talking about Field Notes, I think anyways. So let's talk about the new release of Field Notes, this new series called Explore America. And they are doing this in partnership with 59 Parks. They have just released Series A and Series B. And I'll give you a little look at the back of them here. So right now there's 6 books, 6 Field Note books that you can get, these pocket notebooks that everybody loves so much. I just got the 2 here, one of each. I'm not one of those people that tries to buy up a whole bunch of them and then resell them on eBay for way much more than they are worth. But hey, if that's your game, play ball. But I thought we could open these up together. I've been sitting on them for a little while. When I first saw that they were available, I went directly to the store and got them because I love Field Notes and I really like how they are looking. However, we'll talk about some things that I like and some things I don't like. I have not even seen the inside of them yet, so we're going to do that together. So let's go ahead and open these up. So we'll start with the A series here. So right off the bat, I'm really digging the colors, especially this one. I love these blues and yellows and kind of gold tints, how they go together. So that's really nice. That's probably going to be the one I use first, I think, so far. But yeah, these are really nice. And we've got the Appalachian Trail here. We've got the Continental Divide. And we've got the Pacific Crest Trail. Really nice. So let's see what's inside of these. All right, so not grid. And we kind of already knew that based on the back of these. And you can see what the insides look like from their website. They don't keep that a mystery from you. But this is really cool. Okay. So it's kind of I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of a yellowish green dot color. The dots are pretty, they're pretty significant. Like they're a little bit bigger than I'm used to, and they are a little bit thicker than maybe some of the past ones. But just your standard Field Notes paper. I'm sure they tell us in here what the paper is. I'll let you pause that to read if that's your thing. It always tells you what the innards are and what the outside is made of as well. But yeah, nothing special. They're not the best for fountain pens. And one of the main reasons they're not the best for fountain pens for a lot of people is because they will ghost or even bleed through. That's not my issue with Field Notes paper. Mine is the kind of that splattering effect that it does. So it doesn't sit as nicely on the paper as you would get out of a Lockbee or some Japanese paper. So Field Notes, not really known for their paper quality. It's more of this here. It's more of the aesthetic look. It's more of the artwork, and just the Field Notes brand themselves. That's what you're getting. So, seeing the inside of that one. This one is the same exact. I'm assuming this one is too. I do like that the pages are different colors, so that's nice. So that's like 2 shades of yellow, and then this was blue. So I always like those little things. All right, so that is Series A. We'll keep that right there, and we'll get this Series B open, see what that looks like. I'm assuming it's going to be pretty much the same. All right, so we've got that information there. All right, so for this one, we've got Big Sur, the Muirwoods, and Golden Gate. One thing about this is that it is well, maybe not completely the same. Let me go get something real quick. Okay, so here is the other series, the last series that Field Notes did, and this was National Parks. So we've got National Parks, and then these are the Explore America, which are also parks, or maybe they're mostly, nope, they're parks. Okay, so it's kind of the same thing, y'all. But this Sequoia, I don't know if you can see that. This is an extra one I had from a store that we started. It's not identical, but it's definitely not very far off. So that's kind of disappointing. I hope that, I mean, obviously it was intentional. That's a little weird. I don't know if I like that too much. We'll take a look at the inside. Yeah, so it's kind of the same. I don't know how I feel about those, to be honest with you. I mean, it's all right. Field Notes is not, it's not the company that's going to put out the best quality paper. That's going to be, Lockbee. If you're looking for a similar size and style of pocket notebook, then if you're wanting to just use your fountain pens with those, then I would definitely go with the Lockbee brand. But I do love the covers. I love the artwork. Minus this one, even though it is really pretty. It's a really nice it's a really nice artwork. However, the design is definitely not. We didn't really get very creative with it in making it different from the last Parks collection that Field Notes did. So there's that. So let's kind of grade these a little bit. Let's see, how can we get them all on the camera here? Probably don't need these anymore, I guess, or maybe we'll do it like that, so you can see the name and the series of these. Okay, so overall, artwork, A+, fantastic. I love the feel of the covers. They're all the same. It's a little bit thicker than your standard craft notebooks from Field Notes. It's basically the same as the National Park series or collection, and that's good. They wear nicely. You don't have to have a cover for them. You can beat them up. It's pretty rugged. It's not going to rip a whole lot, unless you're just, really just trying to rip it. That being said, paper quality, nothing to write home about, literally. Just your same old from Field Notes as far as their dot grid goes. Not their best quality paper, but I will be using my everyday carry pen, which is this Leuchtturm gel pen. I love this thing. This is, I put it in my my everyday notebook carry. I've got a little holder right there for it. Fits in the pocket nicely. So that's where that goes. You're really gonna like these for a catch-all, everyday type of notebook, or if you use them for your book notes, any sort of note taking, it's gonna be just fine with these. As far as the functionality, we're using a dot grid, so dot grids do come in handy for a lot of different applications, so that's nice. A lot of people don't like the lines. I actually really like the lines, and I believe that's what this latest one is. Yeah, so let me show you a blank page there. I actually really love these. This is probably what I prefer the most right now, or the Ledger. I really like those for my everyday carry, catch-all type of daily notebook. So functionality, you've got the dot grid. It is pretty pronounced. It's pretty dark. I do like to have a little bit of a lighter dot grid than this, but it is what it is. Overall quality, well, we'll just have to see. I've noticed that some Field Notes hold up better than others. One of the ones that I feel like really doesn't hold up well at all was the Jason Isbell Field Notes, and I love the design of them. I love the feel of them. I love the inside. But for some reason, I don't know what it was, but I've had two different sets of those, and every time the cover comes off of them, and I don't treat them any different than a regular everyday carry notebook. But we'll see how well these hold up. They feel like they'll hold up pretty well. The quality is nice, and I can tell that it was cut nicely. Unlike the River series that I had, that was like some of the worst put together notebooks that I had. I don't know if that was just the one I got, but definitely it was very jagged, and pages were not cut evenly. But these are, so that's nice. So both sets, both Series A and B, identical, obviously, except for the artwork. Really the only con that I have is that I feel like we were just a little bit cheated with this cover, since we already had that. Really the only difference is this right here. There's like a little moss trail, and then this one is like a dirt trail. But still not the biggest complaint. I think probably the bigger complaint is, I think collectively, is probably going to be the dots, and how kind of dark they are. But, or really, it's not really maybe how dark it is, but it is a lot bigger than I feel like. Or maybe it's just that kind of splintered out look that's doing it. Kind of how I said the fountain pens, how they work on Field Notes paper. I feel like maybe the ink did that too, and it's making them look bigger than I think they were supposed to be. But overall, I am super excited about these. I think that they'll probably have as many series as they did with the National Park ones. And I can't remember off the top of my head how many they had, but they had quite a few of them. So this is just my first reaction to the new Field Notes series, the new collection of the Explore America. Right now you've got Series A and Series B out. So let me know, have you gotten these yet? How do you like them? Do you care about the regurgitated cover? Do you care about the dots, the dot grid here? I'd love to know your thoughts. And if you haven't already, and you made it this far, then I guess you like this kind of content. So please hit that subscribe button. Not affiliated in any way. I'm not gonna ask you to hit a certain link to give me money or anything like that. This is just a channel where we can have fun and talk about journals, field notes, pocket notebooks, your systems, and anything else in that realm. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Like it if you did, and I will see you all in the next one.